In this video, I'm going to explain pick lists within any form. So if you have a drop-down menu with different options to select from. Okay, so I'm just going to go to our form. Actually, I'm going to preview. I'm just going to open this in a new tab just to give you an example. Oh, I have it open already. So apply form. So this is the pick list right here, and we've got all our various different program options. So we've got first choice, second choice, and third choice. Okay, so let me jump to our settings for the apply form right here. I'm going to scroll down to, okay, here we have the field first choice, ID 20. And we've got all our label and values. So the label and value is the exact same. Now, but the value is more important. So the label is what is going to display right here, what the user will see. But the value is what has to be very case sensitive in order for workbooks to pull that information in. So when the user hits submit application form, if there is an error between the value in WordPress, or for example, if the E is not on a state, it will not be recognized within the workbooks pick lists that we have preset. So let me explain further. So these values are very important. I'm going to go into Start Configuration, and I'm going to go to not automated customization and record types. Right. So the record type, we're talking about a sales lead again. I'm going to click on sales lead, and we're going to go to fields. So we're going to have a look at the first choice field because that's what we're looking at right now. And I want to see what the pick list name is. So the pick list name is called internship sectors. Now to create these pick lists, I'm going to exit out of this once more, and I'm going to go back here. So I was just in record types, and we're going to go to pick lists. So pick lists can be created and they can be used for sales leads or persons. So we've got all the pick lists right here, and as I said, we're looking for internship sectors pick lists because that's the pick list we use for first choice, second choice, and third choice within the application form. So internship sectors we have right here, and we're going to click on values. So here we go. We have a bunch of different values that you can add, you can remove. So we have architecture and real estate. So as I said, it's very case sensitive, so it has to be the exact same. This value here must be the exact same case sensitive as the value here. So if the E is missing here, but the E is available here, this, and the student selects architecture and real estate, workbooks, it will not import into workbooks. So that's how we create a pick list. So again, if I'm creating another new pick list, I can call it whatever I want, and I want to add this new pick list to a new field within workbooks. I can go in here, I can create new custom field. I can go to, where am I? Dynamic, oh no, just regular pick list. I can call it whatever I want, and then you can select from your pre-made pick lists that you've created. So what was the internship sectors? Internship sectors, there's the pick list right there. And then we can see all the values, and you can create a new field. So that's how pick lists work. As I said, you can create pick lists for sales leads or persons or any other record type. And then when you are editing a specific record type, you can select from those pick lists. Again, it is very important if you are if I'm adding a new field here, I'm just going to use, right, gender as an example, right? And since gender now is becoming a very talked about subject right now, we may have to change this in the future. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll do this right now. I'm going to add in a new option, and I'm going to call it other. Okay. other. I'm going to put in other right here. Okay. So we've got the value, we're adding the value of other to our gender field in the application form. So I'm going to add in a new single line text. Okay, and it's going to probably add it somewhere, I can't see it. Okay, right here at the bottom. It's just called untitled. So I'm clicking on it, I'm dragging all the way up to where we had gender a moment ago on our application form. I seem to have lost it. Oh, there we go. So gender. So we've got a single line text. So what we want to do is we are going to say, okay, we're going to call this please specify. My computer sometimes has a mind of its own. I've accidentally duplicated it. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to go please, oh, can't spell. Please specify. I'm typing with one hand, please forgive me. So please specify, we're going to say it's required because we want the student to fill it in. We're not going to have a default value, enable conditional logic. Right. So we only want this field to display if the student selects other. So what I'm going to do is, oh, we'll also make gender required. Additional logic. So we want to go back into advanced. Okay, we've got gender right here. So show this field if gender is other. Okay, so this field will not show unless the student has selected other in the previous gender field. Or yes, gender field. So this field will not show if they select male, female, but it will show if they select other. So this will allow the student to enter whatever they feel necessary. Okay, so that's the application form settings sorted. I'm not going to click update yet on the application form. So I am going to go into workbooks because we need to update the pick list for gender. So again, I'm not sure what we call the pick list for gender. So I'm just going to go into, again, we've got our record types, sales lead. I'm going to go to fields, go to G for gender. Right, we have gender right here. I'm going to see the pick list name. So it just happens I've named the pick list name gender also. So let me exit out of that. We're back here again. We're going to go into pick lists. And then we are going to go to gender. Gender, right here. Gender. Okay, so values. Okay, we had previous values, and it just happens that we also have other there. But I do see that we have a value that says prefer not to say, and that is actually a good option to have. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to also make sure we add it to our drop-down menu right here. So male, female, paste, prefer not to say. So I'm making the front end, I'm just turning them into capital letters. But as I said, it's case sensitive, so prefer not to say is in small letters. Some of them are lowercase right here, so we have to make sure that the value is the same, prefer not to say. And I'm just going to double check that for other. Other has a capital O, so the value is capital. Great. Okay, so we've added that to the gender pick lists, and I'm going to click Save and Close. So again, we're going to go back here to our form. We've got our apply form. I'm going to hit update. Form updated successfully. and I'm going to, hopefully now I don't have to clear my cache as I was saying earlier. Hopefully it will just show up directly. But just to be safe, sometimes it will show up on the application form, but I think you shouldn't have a problem. So once my application form loads, right, I'm going to go down to gender, and now we have two new options. Prefer not to say other. So let me click on other, please specify. So yes, we have just updated that field. After this video, every time I add in a new field on any form within the website, I always submit a test application to ensure that field is working perfectly and that it isn't affecting any other field. So it's just important to check that. As I said, if it's not submitting, clear your cache and then try do a test submission again. That usually solves the problem.